July the 29th edition of the Daily Devo Live. I'm just going to go ahead and check real quick to make sure that I am actually broadcasting live on all of my various platforms. Three various platforms. So there we are. Well, good morning, everybody. It's good to see you. It's great to be here once again. Hopefully we'll see some of y'all start to pop up here momentarily, and we'll get this party started. I'm going to share this just very quickly to our church page, which kind of maybe will garner us a couple more viewers, and then perhaps we will let's share in a group. We'll share in our primetime group, just in case there's some folks trolling around there as well. So there we go. Okay. So, good to see you. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I have a whole other wardrobe here that I never wear, obviously, because I'm not here all that often. So what I did was the last time I was here, I went to Kohl's and I just went crazy, and I went to all the stores, Marshalls, like the cheap stuff. Cause I don't get into designer things, all that often. I mean, occasionally I'll wear something, that's a little nicer. My wife tries to get me some nicer stuff every once in a while. I went to Banana Republic when I was in Key West, but I never pay full price. Like, I hate paying full price for things. I will do clearance rack. I'll do coupons. I'll do bonus offers. I mean, anything I can to get my clothes for cheap. So at any rate, I saw this shirt the last time I was here and I bought it, and it's kind of cool. It's like little astronauts and all that stuff. The interesting thing is somebody just told me that apparently there's a launch tomorrow here in Florida, weather permitting, of course, because wouldn't you know it, there's another dang tropical storm headed our way. And maybe, I don't know if it's going to make it into the Gulf or not. So I'm not sure what is in store for Texas. But I am hoping to be able to get out of here before it hits. So the models right now have it off the coast, like near Cuba, on Saturday morning when I am scheduled to fly away. So at any rate, that's kind of where we're at on that. So this is kind of like, so these are all the things that I worry about, like trying to figure out how to manage all the things I'm doing here, manage all the things I'm going back, and then making sure that I get back and making sure, so I'm kind of in management mode right now. I'm in management mode today, and I just got an email that somehow my flight was canceled on Saturday morning, so I may have to make some adjustments. So we'll see. And I don't know why it got canceled. So it could be because of the weather. It could be for whatever reason, but I have got to get home before Sunday. So that is imperative. So anyway, I may be flying out of here Friday. We'll see. Okay. So there's all kinds of stuff going on in the world around us as usual. There's interesting things afoot just about everywhere. The news sometimes can be very confusing and uncertain. And sometimes people will post things on social media that are absolutely redonkulous. Okay, so I just got to say, there's this video that is being circulated by people. And so the funny thing is that it's being circulated by folks who are kind of on let's just say the right wing of things, the sort of right wing of things. They're distributing a video of this press conference that was held by these alleged doctors. There's like a whole bunch of people wearing white coats. How many of them were actually physicians? I do not know. But there was this press conference where they were talking about all the different things that we have right now to combat COVID. And of course, the president retweeted all this stuff, and his son retweeted all this stuff, and Breitbart got a hold of it, and all of the alt-right and kind of white nationalist groups are all over this. Demonstrating that, you don't have. So the woman got up, the one woman who's from Houston, sadly, gets up and starts proclaiming that, she doesn't know why people are wearing masks. We have a cure. Why are you worried? We have a cure, blah, 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 blah. The funny thing is that she also has stated that part of the reason why people have certain diseases is because they have dreams where they're having sex with demons. So there's that. And take a look at some of her sermons, man, because she's also, in addition to being a physician, she is also a preacher, right? So there's videos of her sermons which are crazy stuff, like end of the world kind of crazy, weird, like ultra weird Pentecostal kind of stuff. And so this is this is what people are hanging their hats on. This poor woman who's unknown kind of has now become a semi-celebrity, an infamous sort of celebrity, I suppose. But at any rate, all of that's been going on. I just have all these people that just keep posting the video. And the funny thing is they're getting their link. The link that they're getting these videos from are from these weird websites. One's called like DTube. And what it is if you post stuff on there and people watch it, like there's more traffic, you can earn money. You can earn cryptocurrency. You don't earn money, you earn cryptocurrency, which for those of you who have no idea what that is, it's like a digital like currency. It's like an imaginary sort of currency like Bitcoin and things like that, which honestly, cryptocurrency is a dangerous kind of thing. A lot of really far right-wing groups and even far left-wing groups, like so really radical organizations use this so that they can stay under the grid, so they can stay out of the reach of government stuff, and they can spend this money on the dark web. And I mean, it's crazy stuff, man. So a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are used in human trafficking. The selling of human beings, which there are more human beings being sold into slavery now than during the worst parts of slavery, the slave trade in America back in the day. It's a terrible epidemic that it doesn't get a lot of play, right? But it's a terrible thing that's going on. So all of these people are getting these videos off of these websites that are just ridiculously crazy websites, and some of them are like National Enquirer, kind of stuff. And so then they're putting them out. So today I've just kind of ruined a few people's days by just posting the link of the actual news story into the thing that they posted. I'm not saying anything, just going click. And then like, there's the actual like interview, the actual video, the actual thing that the woman said and all the other stuff. So yeah, there you go. But I gotta say, man, you need to avoid sex with demons. It's really a bad thing to happen at all costs, right? You gotta make sure that you're not dreaming about those kind of things, because man, that could be bad. It could end up bad for you and for everybody else, apparently. So at any rate, all right, enough of that silliness. So let's see who's on today. We've got all kinds of our crew on today. I know that Wednesdays are also a day for many of our folks who have staff meetings and other things, so that they're not able to see it as clearly on this day. But yeah, you can definitely see Elway in the background today, the way I've got the camera placed. You know what I mean? It's like, there he is, man, in all of his glory. My wife thought this was so funny, the way that I set up this whole thing so that it wouldn't be so, bland. Oh, me oh my. I haven't checked scores today. I haven't checked any of those kinds of things. But I believe that basketball is starting very soon, like maybe today. I know my team plays tomorrow. Although, I wear my Clippers gear and I offend people here in South Central Texas, because I tend to forget. Like, I mean, I started following Kawhi Leonard because that's the player that I like, who plays for the Clippers now. He played for the Toronto Raptors, but before that, he spent a lot of years in and won a championship with the San Antonio Spurs. He was the MVP of the series that the last time they won a championship. And so, every time I wear those jerseys and people see them, they're like, "Oh man, you're hurting me," because they're. I tend to forget, like, that's the closest NBA team to us, and so a lot of people are Spurs fans. All right, my Cubbies won yesterday. I knew they were. They were ahead of the Reds in the sixth inning when I was taking a look at it. And so they are now 4-1 on this brand new season, which is really great. Whether or not they can continue their dominance of the NL is yet to be. My prediction is that they will implode at some point. But, one never knows. So I'm super excited. We got baseball going on. We got basketball starting this week. I think hockey starts like in another week or so. Although when I say start, it's going to restart. So they'll begin the season again, just like the NBA season is beginning again. So they have all of their old records from when we stopped. So all the standings are the same, which is a shame because the team that I have made my decision to root for is the Chicago Blackhawks. I could have picked the Dallas Stars, I suppose, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Sorry, I'm just not. It's like Dallas. It's like, ugh. I'm obviously not. I'm obviously not a Cowboys fan. I don't detest the Cowboys like some Broncos fans do, because they have never forgiven the Cowboys from like 1977 when they beat us in the Super Bowl, the very first Super Bowl that we went to against the Cowboys, which was incidentally Tony Dorsett's rookie season, and he just ran all over us that game, and it was quite extraordinary. And we were playing with the Dallas Cowboys' old quarterback, Craig Morton. Craig Morton used to be the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and so anyway, there was a quarterback controversy for a while until finally Staubach got the start, and that was the end of that. So finally. But yeah, NHL. Oh yeah, that's right. There's just playoffs now, and so my team is out. So I'm done. So I'm gonna probably. I don't even know who's in the standings. I haven't looked. But hockey's about to start again. I guess the coolest thing I think that happened to hockey this month was they've added a new team, and it's called the Seattle Kraken. The Seattle Kraken, which they easily have the coolest logo of any hockey team. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, there you go. Enough sports banter. All that's happening. And tomorrow night. Tonight is Wednesday. I keep forgetting which day it is. I told my son. I said, one day, a long time from now, when you're a grandfather, your grandkids are going to ask you, like, what was it like, Grandpa, going through COVID? And you will be able to tell them it was strange. It was strange because grown people would ask one another, what day is it? And they wouldn't know. Yeah, buddy. So, okay. So tonight is the Conversations on Racial Injustice. I'm not going to be there, but Stephen Carr is going to be there in my stead. And he's going to be taking care of all of the breakout rooms and all of that stuff and making sure everybody gets admitted and doing all of that. Pastor Britta is going to be checking the chats and taking notes and so forth, questions. And then, of course, we'll be facilitated by Carl and Floyd. Hopefully, y'all will be there. It's going to be really good. I'm sorry to miss it, but it's my friend's 50th birthday. it was my friend's 50th birthday this past week, and we've not been able to celebrate with her, obviously. So we're going to do that tonight, safely and socially distanced. Of course, we're going to not go out. We're going to actually bring food in order to do that, and so just to play it safe, just to be on the safe side. We're not going to overly expose we're not going to be exposing ourselves in public. What was that? That was from Ghostbusters. And you don't want us exposing ourselves in public. Love that movie. Okay, so we got that tonight. I'm sure, Miss Patty, you can probably let us know on the Facebook feed whether or not you've got some stuff going on today. Usually Thursdays, Primetime does coffee conversation. You guys have had bingo going on, which apparently is a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon with our Primetime group, so that's fantastic. So yeah, if you all want to post whatever you got going on this week into the Facebook feed, that'll be great for everybody to be able to see. And if they so desire to be able to join in, I will now take a swig of coffee from one of Meredith Nagel PA's coffee mugs. She's got all kinds of swag here: glasses, cups, USB, t-shirts, hats, all kinds of things. Most of which I designed, quite honestly. But now we have somebody that's brand new that works here. Who is doing the marketing, and she's amazing. She's awesome. She took all of that off of my plate and is way better than me, because I used to do all of Meredith's marketing stuff, like all of her graphics or videos or different things, and now she does all that professionally. So she's moved on up, you know what I mean? So out of my field of expertise. But some of the things that y'all may not know this, but a lot of the things that we produce, Stephen and I generally are the ones that produce any of the graphics that you see for our church. All of the logo stuff, all of the videos, all of those things are usually designed and implemented and stuff by either Stephen or myself. And so the greeting videos that we do, I usually do the greeting videos. So anybody that's sending me the dog videos, which I've already started getting a couple of those, we're gonna run the reminder today. So if you've got a dog and you'd like to do a greeting video with your dog, which would be super cute, we're gonna have that on Sunday, and then we'll do cats after that, just so the cat people are not left out. So I generally do a lot of those. I do all of the videos that I'm shooting when I do the worship ready stuff, and I'm editing those. And so it's kind of fun. I enjoy doing those. As long as I'm not doing all of the videos, I'm happy. But you're going to see some promotional videos that'll be coming out here pretty soon that are for the new series, the new sermon series that we're going to be doing this Sunday, that starts on Sunday, goes all the way through the month of August. So all of the little promos that you see, I created those, but I did them with I have a program that I use to do that. So, I mean, it's, I used to draw and I used to paint. Now I do that. I had to do something, to keep that creative stuff sort of going. And so those are the things that I generally do. So Stephen does a lot of them. He does a lot of the work on a lot of the graphics and stuff, but I do some. I don't do as much as him. But that way we're able to kind of share, and it gives me an outlet. And a lot of times it's just quicker for me, since I'm doing, certain things with, for the sermon series, or I know what I need to say or whatever. But we're gonna be making an announcement probably in a couple of weeks about, kind of the things to look forward to for the fall, the stuff that we're going to be doing, and, kind of what we're thinking in terms of the way that we're going to be operating and how we're going to approach in-person worship, which, basically I'm just going to spoil it a little bit, but we're going to be guided by the city of Austin and our presbytery guidelines and the CDC and any organization that is approaching this issue responsibly and prudently. That's going to be our guide, right? So we're not going to be guided by our state government. We're definitely not going to be guided by the national government and the way that they're pushing to kind of move forward. Those are, I mean, if churches want to do that, if there are other churches that want to open and they want to do all that, that's fine. We're going to wait and follow those guidelines. Anyway, that's going to be mostly what we're talking about when we do our next announcement. So we needed to do that. We did one at the beginning of COVID, and now we're getting ready to end summer. And so it's a lot longer than any of us expected. So we're going to follow up that communication with a new communication, a new video, and a new round of telephone calls for all of our church members. So we're going to contact, again, all of our church members to let them know what's going on, to check in, see how they're doing, see who needs help, see who would like some follow-up, who needs conversations, that kind of thing. Also, we are going to be creating a technology ministry team, and Stephen is going to be leading that. So I'm going to be looking for volunteers, some people who would be willing to be a part of that team. So that way we can help some of our church members who might be having problems getting online or, going to a Zoom class, that kind of thing. Or maybe even deeper, they're having problems with their computer, problems with their camera, problems with all the other things that they need in order to stay connected in the world that we live in now. And so we're going to have people with a variety of skills and talents, of course, to be able to help us figure that out. And so that way people can just call, contact Stephen, and we'll be able to put them in touch with somebody that will help them. So that's something new that we're going to be doing. You'll see a little bit more about that going forward as well. So these are all exciting things. I'm super excited about where God is leading us and how things have just been opened up, in terms of the possibilities for us. We're not without possibilities. We're not without ideas, and we just need to keep being creative, which is really cool because that's the whole theme of our sermon series coming up is creativity. So how you were created to be creative. You and I both were, right? So even though you say, well, I'm not creative. Nice, Steve. I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm sure Uranus is on my t-shirt, on my shirt as well. Those kind of jokes just never stop being funny if you're a guy. That's just when I was a little kid, man, we would go, I was in class and we would talk about the solar system and we'd do those you were just waiting for somebody to say that, because then everybody would be like Beavis and Butthead, like, it doesn't stop being funny. Oh man, there's there's a Christmas song that we sing. Anyway, I think it's Away in the Manger. And one of the stanzas has the word ass in it. And I'm serious. I swear to goodness. Like every time that we sing that song, I forget to remind like our folks, like, just please don't put that stanza in there. Not because I'm like offended by it, because I don't care. I'm like, I got true talk here. Sometimes I have a little bit of a foul mouth. That's what Meredith revealed to the search committee when I was doing my interview process. She like just did that. Like, I'm in the middle of my interview with like the pastor search committee, and she goes, "Well, you should know about Leon is that he does cuss some." I was glad at least that she put the "some" thing on the end of that. But at any rate, it's not because I'm a prude or anything, but what happens is I start laughing, and then, I'll look around because I'm like, I don't want to be the only one laughing at the fact that we just sang the word ass in Christmas. But the only people that will be laughing when I look around are like my 9-year-old kid and like a 10-year-old kid that would be sitting behind him and other little kids, right? So it's like, here I am, like I'm choking to death And I'm looking around for help. Like, please don't let me be the only adult like that's dying laughing at this thing. And it generally always is. Or it's like a person who has a kid that is laughing, and then they realize, like why they're laughing, and they start laughing. So anyway, there you go. There's my story. All right, I have gone way over my usual time limit for all of this stuff. Okay. So yes, let's do a little trivia. Okay. So all week long, I've been doing movies that are set in Florida, or at least were shot in Florida, and even if they might not have been set in Florida, they were shot in Florida. So this 1998 movie was filmed in a community in Florida called Seaside, Florida, which is like it's a really cool place. But Seaside, Florida. And so if none of you get it from that, I'll give you a little bit of a hint. So this 1998 movie was filmed, and if I put the actor's name in it, it'll give it away, and I don't want to do that right away. But this movie was filmed in Seaside, Florida, and I'm waiting. If there's anybody that just knows it off of that. Let's see here. The funny thing is I have 0 viewers on Twitter. That's so great, man. All right, so no one? Okay, so it was filmed in Seaside, Florida, which is like a planned community that looks like a storybook kind of town, right? It's like perfect. The only other town that I know of that's kind of like Seaside is Celebration, which is a Disney planned community that is on Disney property. And so Celebration became like a town. It's incorporated. It's got its own thing going on, but it's on Disney property and designed by Disney as well. But there you go, Randy Riggs. The Truman Show was filmed in Seaside, Florida. And the Truman Show was starred Jim Carrey and Ed Harris. And it was about a guy who it was kind of a commentary on reality shows and like our obsession with them and our obsession with watching other people's lives other than our own, and kind of like just like society in general, and it had a whole bunch of questions about religion and faith and all of that. And freedom, what it means to have true freedom, those kinds of things. A fantastic movie. If you haven't watched it in a while, it's kind of a great movie to watch during this pandemic, just because I think it's so hopeful. It really is a very hopeful movie. But just starred Jim Carrey, Ed Harris. Jim Carrey plays a guy who was born on television, right? So he was born on a reality show. So his entire life has been part of this. It's a movie set that's been created just to center around him and his life and all the things that he does. There's cameras everywhere. All of the people that he's encountering and all of the people that are in the village are actors, some of whom have been playing their roles for years and years and years, right? So anyway, pretty fantastic movie. The Truman Show, but filmed in Seaside, Florida. There you go. Okay, let's jump in, shall we, to today's Daily Devo. And for those of you who missed out, the reason why I'm wearing my cool shirt today is because I just put it on. But I discovered that there is a launch tomorrow that's going to send the next rover to Mars, allegedly. So we'll see whether that happens with all the storms and all the junk going on all around us. Maybe they'll be getting it into the air tomorrow to beat the tropical storm that's coming. That'll be here on Sunday. I think it'll be here Sunday, which is why I've got to get out of here before Saturday, maybe. We'll see. All right. Let's jump into the Daily Devo today, which is entitled "Live in Defiant Hope." I've used the phrase "defiant hope" on numerous occasions. It's one of my favorite phrases because so often hope is hard to come by, and so especially when things seem hopeless. And so we live in defiant hope. Those of us who are called to follow Jesus or follow Jesus because we're called. Depending on how you view that, right? So those of us who are following Jesus, we are compelled to live in that defiant hope because that's the kind of hope that is resurrection hope. Despite the fact that everything seems lost, everything is dead, left for dead. All that. All right, so let's begin. I began this particular Devo with a quote from George Orwell's 1984. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. It's the very first line of 1984, by the way. So the quote is the first line from the classic novel 1984 by George Orwell, which is a dystopian parable that addresses the consequences of government overreach, totalitarianism, mass surveillance, and repressive regimentation of all persons and behaviors within society. Relax. Relax. This isn't going to be an overtly politically charged daily devotion. It is a devotion. Okay. So, however, I am going to talk a bit about religion and how within religion, totalitarianism is often disguised as tradition. And repressive regimentation of all persons is often disguised as biblical interpretation. There are important conversations to have. These are because there's a lot of misguided people out there in our culture claiming to speak for God. And not to put too fine a point on it, but ultimately they end up sounding more and more like people who are claiming the clock is striking 13, even though everyone else knows dang well it isn't. There's a pervasive kind of fatalism that exists within some lanes of the Christian tradition that tend to lead many people who claim to follow Jesus down the wrong road. In essence, they come to believe that the world is going to be destroyed, and a bunch of people who aren't part of the in crowd along with it. So they shouldn't be all that concerned with the things of this earth, which apparently includes care for creation, care about injustice, and for some, the imposition of having to wear masks in public to care for themselves and others. And it's, I got to be honest with y'all. Here in Florida, it is a different world than where we are in Austin. It is a different world. But I was in a store yesterday, and I wear my mask faithfully everywhere I go. So a guy was walking in the store, and he didn't have his on, and all I did was I just looked at him. That's all it took. I'm a big guy, so I was just like, as he was walking in, I just stood there and I just looked at him, and he goes, "Oh, I forgot my mask." And then he went back out. I couldn't tell like how my eyes were looking, but they must have been hard. I was just like, what the what? Are you daring to come into this place without your mask on? But he went and got it to his credit. So, at least he was being cool about it, so there you go. But there's a lot of people that call themselves Christians who are, they just, and here's the thing, you wonder. So a lot of people wonder, like, why are they like that? Like, why are they saying these things? Like, why don't they care about creation? They don't care about, environmentalism. They don't care about injustice. They don't seem to care about whether or not, they're wearing a mask. They just don't care. So a lot of these people that call themselves Christians that fall within those categories, that fall within the categories where it doesn't seem that they're caring for the things of this earth, what motivates that, what's at the heart of it, is that fatalism, right? But not just a fatalism from them, because for them, because they're not gonna, their belief is they're gonna get snatched away, right? They're gonna get snatched away before all of this goes to hell in a handbasket. So they're fine, but the rest of this is going to be destroyed. And, honestly, it feels like the end times, right? And so it could be any day. So why bother recycling? Why bother caring about whether somebody is being oppressed? Why bother with wearing a mask? My freedom is being imposed upon, and I don't care, right? In the end, it's all going to be destroyed. I know that that's not what they're saying. That's not what's coming out, but that's at the heart of that theology. All of this is backed up by a benighted view of the Bible that uses scripture as a weapon or as a defense mechanism, depending on the argument. And further, if someone within those faith communities decides to stand up and speak about a different way, a more excellent way, as it is worded in the New Testament, they tend to get shouted down, or worse, they sometimes will get ostracized. They'll get kicked out of their community. Their record label will cut them off. Their Christian record label will cut them off. They no longer get bookings for speaking engagements. They get fired from their leadership job at their church. The list goes on for people who stand up and will say, wait a minute, this isn't the way. The 19th century English writer J.C. Ryle once wrote, and I'm going to put this into the comments. Un momento, por favor. Here we go. And I'll quote him. So, J.C. Tyler. Hold on, let me go back to where I was. Experience supplies painful proof that traditions once called into being are first called useful, then they become necessary, and at last they're too often made idols, and all must bow down to them or be punished. This is what keeps so many Christians silent on some of the things that are breaking the heart of God right now in our world. Things that could be restored and resurrected right now if only we had the courage and holy imagination to do what God would have us to do. There's something amazing going on right now, though. Change is in the air. My sense is that there is a reformation afoot within the Christian church in America, one that has been bubbling for a while. We have been put through a crucible, and now we have an opportunity to come out of this challenging season with a renewed sense of holy purpose, a renewed sense of our identity as the hands and feet of Christ. I heard a line from a song by the band Bring Me the Horizon, which is it's a pretty heavy band. They're pretty heavy music. They're British, and they're really, really fantastic. Their lyrics are incredible. And they wrote a song during the COVID thing. They had been working on a kind of song like it, but then they reworked it and made a new song for the COVID. And so there was a line in the song that says, "When we forget the infection, will we remember the lesson?" I hope so. With a defiant hope. I hope that when we come through the other side of this, and we will, that we will have the good sense to let go of the traditions that have become idols in the old world that we used to know. I hope that we will have the courage to stand, and after standing, the courage to move. Because if we have the courage to do both, we will find Jesus on the way, continuing to make all things new, restoring what was lost in amazing moments that will surprise us to no end. So live in hope. Live with eyes wide open, hearts ready to be transformed, and minds prepared to be blown. Live in hope. The clock isn't striking 13, no matter what they tell you. Live in hope. Defiant hope. And may the grace and peace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you now and always. Amen. It's always great to be with you all, and especially when I'm far away from home and having to piece my space together. It's wonderful to know that you all are there and that you are still connected and still want to hear what I have to say. And to interact with me as well. It's such a blessing. You all are a blessing to me. And feel free to share. Feel free to share any of the videos that we produce. Feel free to share any of the stuff that we're doing. Make sure that you stay up to speed on all the things that are happening in the life of our church. We're always doing something. And I think the primetime group, Patty posted in there the schedule. It's on, I think it's tomorrow, the Coffee and Conversation. It's a Zoom meeting. So if you're at home alone, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you live. If you're at home alone and you are really wanting to connect, some of the people that you're seeing on here each and every day, they're part of that group. And wouldn't it be great to be able to connect with them? Reach out to each other, friend each other on Facebook, stay connected, go to the Zoom fellowship things. You'll have a great time. Everybody's included. You won't feel awkward. There are all kinds of brand new people that have joined that group and started coming and been a part of it. And they will tell you to a person how welcome they feel. So if you're looking for that kind of fellowship and that kind of connection, it's right there. And be with us on Sunday mornings. It's always so much more fun when y'all are there, commenting, saying hello, doing your thing. And we'll have special stuff this Sunday, of course, to celebrate. Anyway, I will see y'all later. We'll see you tomorrow. I've got a pastoral care meeting in about 20 minutes. And after that, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to look at my schedule. I've got some things to do around Meredith's office, doing some decorating, doing some fixing, and that's kind of what I do when I'm here, is I help her out in that way. I just fixed her printer like 5 minutes before I started this. So I'm being useful, being useful while I'm here. Y'all be well. Take care. Have a blessed day, and